All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are cracking the code on something that can literally change your career path, the Scrum Master interview. We're going to completely reframe how you approach it, moving you from just, answering questions to telling a really powerful data-driven story.
I mean, this is the real challenge, isn't it? You've got all this experience, you've led teams, you've moved mountains to clear roadblocks, but you've got, 30, maybe 45 minutes to convince someone of all that? So how in the world do you actually pull that off?
And here's the thing you have to get. It's so crucial. They've seen your resume. They know you can rattle off the definition of Scrum. What they are really looking for is proof. They want evidence that you can take that theory and apply it in the real world, where things get messy and complicated.
So, that's going to be our focus. We are moving way beyond the textbook answers and into the real test, the part where you actually get to show them what you're made of.
Now, to do this, you're going to need a secret weapon. And that weapon is something called the STAR method. It's a super simple framework that's going to make your answers clear, compelling, and just packed with undeniable proof. Let's break it down really quick. It's so easy. You start with the situation, just set the scene, give a little context. Then the task. What was your goal? What were you trying to do? Next up is action. What did you specifically do? And then you land the plane with the most important part, the result, the measurable outcome. Honestly, this is where the magic happens.
Okay, so now that we have our framework, our secret weapon, let's actually apply it. We're going to start decoding the key questions that you are almost guaranteed to get in one of these interviews.
So think about these common topics. I want you to stop thinking of them as questions and start seeing them as opportunities. They are basically big open invitations for you to tell a story using that STAR method. Whether it's about a tricky retrospective or a team that just couldn't hit its goals or a product backlog that was a total mess, every single one is a chance for you to shine.
But we're not just going to tell a good story. Nope, we're going to tell a story that is absolutely undeniable by backing it up with some cold, hard data.
Okay, let's take this classic question. I'm sure you've heard it. A team is just constantly missing their sprint commitments. The interviewer wants to know what you did. So you walk them through the situation, the task, and your specific actions. And then you hit them with the proof.
This right here is how you take an okay answer and make it an unforgettable one. Instead of just saying, oh, well, the team got better, you say something like this. As a result of these actions, our sprint goal success rate climbed from a shaky 50% to a consistent 90% in just 3 sprints. Our burn-down chart stabilized, and our velocity predictability shot up by 20%. You feel the difference? That is undeniable.
All right, let's look at another one. This question is really testing your ability to build a culture of learning. You can tell your STAR story maybe about a really insightful retrospective you ran, but the real question is, how do you prove that it actually worked?
Well, you prove it with data. For example, we put a new action item tracker in place, and our completion rate for those items jumped by 75%. Not only that, but we also saw a 15% increase in our team happiness survey and a noticeable lift in our stakeholder satisfaction scores. You see, you're creating the solid, unbreakable link between your actions and the amazing results.
Ah, the classic messy backlog question. This is all about your ability to facilitate, to collaborate, and just to create a smooth flow of work. So you describe the situation, your task to bring some clarity, and the actions you took with the product owner to refine that backlog. And the result? The result is efficiency you can measure. You could say something like, by improving our backlog refinement process, we actually cut our average cycle time by 2 whole days. This shortened our overall lead time by 15% and allowed us to increase our release frequency from once a month to every 2 weeks. Now, you're not just a facilitator, you're a value accelerator. That sounds good, right?
Now, I just threw out a couple of terms, so let's quickly define them. Cycle time is basically the clock for the team. It's the time from when work starts on a task to when it's completely finished.
And lead time? That's the clock for the customer. It's the total time from the moment they make a request to the moment it's delivered into their hands. A shorter lead time is a massive win for the business.
And finally, sprint goal success rate. This isn't about story points, it's about promises. It's a measure of your team's reliability and their focus on hitting the most important objective for the sprint.
Okay, so let's pull all of this together. How do you walk into that room and just absolutely ace your interview? The winning strategy is actually pretty simple. You combine your real-life stories with concrete data-driven outcomes. That is how you prove your worth beyond a shadow of a doubt.
So here's your game plan, your key takeaways. 1. Frame every single answer using the STAR method. 2. Prepare your real-life stories for these common questions ahead of time. 3. Supercharge that result part of your story with hard numbers, with concrete KPIs. And 4. I want you to stop just answering questions and start telling a data-driven success story.
So remember this, your next interview, it's not an exam. It's not a test, it's a performance. It's a storytelling session, and you're the star, showcasing your greatest hits. So the only question left is, what amazing story is your data going to tell about you?